Welcome to Hood Champion Boxing and Sports. In boxing, you find a way to win or you find a way to lose. Look, man, Fury, Wilder, those guys are not the same fighters that they were. Not at all. Now, I truly believe in boxing, the fighters can end up taking a pound of flesh out of each other. And sometimes, you see it end up in the beginning being a little bit competitive, but then over the course of the fight, sometimes it's one fighter who ends up taking a pound of flesh out of the fighter, or a little bit more out of the fighter than the fighter does to them. You take a look at that, at what Tyson Fury and Deontay Wilder put each other through across 3 fights. It's no surprise that they both looked the way they did in their last fights. Now, you know what's interesting about this is when you look at that first Wilder fight, you saw that Tyson Fury was able to control, a large portion of that fight, just using his ring generalship, showing that he had a better boxing IQ, which it doesn't matter if you like Fury or you like Wilder. I don't think there's any argument that Tyson Fury just has an overall better IQ. But I don't think there's any argument that Deontay Wilder is the more explosive fighter. So what you ended up seeing is that showed up in the first fight, and particularly in rounds 9 and round 12, where Wilder almost got Fury out of there. But a lot of people still felt that it was a horrible call for them to declare that fight a draw. They felt that Fury beat Wilder hands down. But what Fury showed in that fight, I think coming out of it was that he had heart and that he had the will to win. And surprisingly, that he showed more resilient, because people felt that although he was outboxing Deontay Wilder, Fury was on the worst end of the stick as far as taking the more damaging blows, even though in my opinion, Fury landed a lot of hard shots on Wilder. He was just doing more boxing and being on the back foot and not coming forward. There were multiple times in that fight where you could see when Tyson Fury stepped forward, he had huge success, but you could tell that wasn't part of the strategy and he was sticking to the game plan. But the bottom line is, in that first fight, although it was pretty exciting and there were some ebbs and flows, Fury ended up outlanding Wilder 84-71 overall. There was 46-40 jabs and 38-31 power shots, and round by round breakdown, Fury led 9-3 in total connects and landed power punches. So, bottom line, that first fight, although Wilder did more than enough in 2 rounds to kind of sway the judges to give him a draw, it showed still that Tyson Fury had more success than Wilder in that first fight. Now, when you go and you take a look at that sequel, okay, now this is where, okay, in the first fight, some would say Fury took a couple hard shots. Wilder was getting touched up throughout the fight, but no one really felt like anyone came out of that fight like really damaged. You know what I'm saying? But that second fight, Tyson Fury dominated, more than dominated. Now, I'm not here to talk about the secret society talk that I like to bring up, but the bottom line is, Tyson Fury dominated, and he outlined Wilder 82-34, okay, in total punches, and he ended up the 7th round stoppage, picking up the WBC strap. Now, this is what's crazy, right? Tyson Fury landed 58 power punches in less than 7 rounds of the rematch after landing just 38 in the first fight. So Wilder landed just 34 punches all fight and just 18 power shots. So that right there just lets you know that in that sequel, it was all Tyson Fury. Matter of fact, it was, Dillian White likes to talk about maximum violence. That second fight was maximum violence. That second fight, I honestly thought if they didn't stop that fight, that Deontay Wilder would get beaten to death. And I'm not just saying that. Like, that's how bad that was, how one-sided that was. That's how frightening that was to see Deontay Wilder get in the ring and get beat like that. Now, I'm not going to talk about my opinion on other things. I'm just talking about what we saw in that fight. Was Fury getting there and just after coming off of that first fight, where Fury seemed to be the one to show true grit and resilience, the guy who some people felt like took the hard shots. In that second fight, everybody was more concerned about Wilder because of the way he got beat. Long story short, going to the third fight now, right? And in that third fight, now this right here was Rock'em Sock'em Robots, okay? These guys went back and forth. They were hitting each other with some hellacious shots. Now, most people are going to remember, Wilder getting hit more than Fury because the way Wilder was reacting when he got hit, like he was just, his body, it was just unraveling. But Wilder landed some hard shots on Fury and put him down hard and put him down again. But there were times where Wilder hurt Fury very, very badly towards the end of rounds. Okay? See, if you go back and you watch that fight, and try not to be biased, you'll see Fury got hurt multiple times towards the end of those rounds. And I personally think the bell saved him. But at the end of the day, the fight went the way it went. And they just beat each other and hit each other with the type of shit that the average man just can't handle. At the end of the day, Fury had a 52-19 edge and punches landed. In the last 3 rounds, Wilder had 2 knockdowns in the fight, and his power is what really kept Wilder in the fight until the end. But what I'm going to tell you is the 150 landed on Wilder is the most ever landed by an opponent at that time. And Fury landed some hard shots on Deontay Wilder, man. He dominated him, outlanding Deontay Wilder 150-72 in total punches and 114 power shots. And that fight right there is what I think, as far as the trilogy goes, that third fight, that took so much out of Fury and Wilder. Fury and Wilder, man. So when you look at Tyson Fury and him coming back and fighting Dillian White and him fighting Chisora, he didn't really look awful because of the opposition he had in front of him. But he didn't really get hit. But you saw when he was in there with Ngannou, who, don't get me wrong, Ngannou can hit. But for Fury to get caught the way he got caught and to go down the way he did, of course, people can speculate he was out of shape, but it just makes you wonder how much Tyson Fury really has left, how much he really wants to do it. And Tyson Fury went on record and said, even after the third Deontay Wilder fight, how he wasn't sure he wanted to keep boxing, how months and months and months, how he was hurt, how his body was, just the recovering, things that nobody saw because, they weren't doing the interviews and they weren't able to see his struggles post the third Deontay Wilder fight. And when he said that, I said, this man's telling the truth. Deontay Wilder damaged him. But we all know Deontay Wilder took some damage in that third fight and that second fight. I'm talking hellacious damage, life-changing damage. So to see Deontay Wilder come back and fight Helenius 1 round, and then to come now here and get in a fight with Joseph Parker and not want to pull the trigger, it does make you wonder if Wilder is not the same because he doesn't want to get hit, because Fury took the fight out of him. Is it, the other things that are going on with Wilder right now, him finding this drink that he likes and being in a good space, right? But I personally think Wilder and Fury took something out of each other. And I think it kind of showed up here in this fight with Wilder and Parker. Although Parker hit Wilder with a very clean right hand, Wilder was out on his feet. When he got hit, you saw he stood up stiff like a mannequin. And then the follow-up by Parker is what I think woke Wilder back up. So what we've seen is Fury get hurt, right? In the third fight after Wilder. The first 2, he really didn't get touched. But when he got touched a little bit, he got hurt against Ngannou. And with Wilder, when he fought Helenius, Wilder, when he tried to go to the body, Helenius countered him, and Wilder didn't like it. But he was very fortunate for the stars to line up to him to catch Helenius coming in. Wilder on the back foot and dropped that right hand. But you saw when he got in the ring now with somebody who could touch him a little bit, that it didn't really work out that good for Wilder. He didn't like it. So to me, if we're really being honest about Wilder and Fury, I think they took something out of each other. And with Fury going forward, I could sit here all day and say, well, Fury's going to have Usman Sajjad. He's going to take a power up. There's going to be some cheating, man. You know, the secret society. You got the connection. Fury's going to take the cocktail. He's going to get in the ring, and he's going to destroy Usyk. You know, I'm not so sure about that anymore. I'm not so sure about that. And I'll be honest with you. I'm not so sure that Tyson Fury that we saw fight Wilder in that first fight, in the second fight, and third fight, the same Tyson Fury. And remember, I'm not talking about all the speculation, all the videos the videos that I've talked about where there could have been some foul play. That's not part of this video. This is just talking about what we saw, not the conspiracies and, you know, all that. This is just what we saw. That Tyson Fury from the second fight and from the third Wilder fight, I'm not sure that guy's still around. But we have to see. It's just like to see Deontay Wilder go through what he went through. They're talking about continuing fighting. Wilder and Malik Scott and their representatives are talking about potential opponents for Wilder's next fight, which is going to happen sooner than later. That's per Malik Scott. So we're going to see what's really left there. But there could be a changing of the guard taking place if Tyson Fury loses to Usyk. Now, let me tell you the uniqueness about this. This is how the secret society works. Wilder's got to go and figure things out. They got to rebuild. Okay, they know that. Tyson Fury has an opportunity here for undisputed. But this is what sucks, right? Let's say Fury fights Usyk and he beats him. Or if Usyk fights Fury and he beats him. And they have the rematch that they want to do. The IBF is not going to sit there and honor those guys doing a rematch and allowing all 4 belts to be on the line. They'll say, hey, y'all do what you want with those 3 belts, but whoever wins, you got to face the IBF mandatory, which right now is Hrgovic, unless AJ fights him and beats him. If whoever wins the fight between Fury and Usyk chooses not to fight the IBF mandatory, the belt will get stripped. So now it's vacant. So AJ and Flip Hrgovic will end up fighting for the vacant strap. That's why Eddie Hearn keeps talking about it, and AJ keeps talking about when I'd rather fight for a title. Because they're watching, because they already know the IBF is going to strip them. This is the same shit. This is a whole other video I should do, but this is the same shit they did to, that sanctioning bodies have done to Josh Taylor. Same crap they just recently did to, what's his name? Terrence Crawford. Okay, it's not like they made champion in recess and they're voluntarily giving up the belt. No, they're taking it from him. Okay, you don't face on mandatory, we're taking it. Okay, and that's what looks like it could be happening. So at the end of the day, Wilder, Fury. It's too bad that there was so many rumors and there's so much drama surrounding the first, second, and third fight. But you know what? At the end of the day, Bob Arum, I mean, there's so many people here you could point the finger at, but this Kinahan thing, this consultation fees, shit about gloves, stuff about Usman Sajjad, and, you know, and Tyson Fury did fight dirty, but it's boxing, you know, you got to make the referee do his job. If he's not going to sit there and tell you don't elbow, don't throw forearms, don't knee, don't do this, I mean, you know, hey, people are going to do it. But it's just so unfortunate for 3 guys to have that kind of trilogy, to not to be able to sit back and sip coffee and tea together and joke and laugh like Arturo Gatti and Mickey Ward. You know what I'm saying? These guys don't even though Deontay Wilder says, hey, I don't feel nothing against Tyson Fury no more, and I wish him the best. But when he gets him from in front of the cameras around a crowd, he gets back wherever he is training in the States, he doesn't talk like that. So I don't know what to believe when it comes to Deontay Wilder, but what I will say is hopefully them guys can figure it out and come to some kind of middle ground to at least be somewhat more cordial with each other, to where they can sit down possibly one day and discuss the fights with a microphone and a camera in the room, to where we can actually hear from both of them. Because right now, I'm not so sure what they're thinking. But I tell you what, we're going to see how things go with Tyson Fury when he fights Usyk. Because I'm not so sure Tyson Fury beats Usyk anymore. I truly believe something was taken out of Wilder, something was taken out of Fury. With Wilder, I'm not talking about Mark Breland, Jay Diaz. This video isn't talking about how I feel about Malik Scott, his lack of accountability. I'm just talking about what I've seen, and I'm not so sure the Fury that fought Wilder in them 3 fights, he's gonna show up against Usyk. I'm just not sure that guy exists anymore. But that being said, if he does, outstanding. Y'all keep cool. Shout out to the veterans all 7 continents. In the breeze.